Welcome to the Roy Morgan Weekly Update. This week's Roy Morgan poll shows the Coalition up 1.5% to 51.5%, regaining a narrow two-party preferred lead over the ALP on 48.5%. If a federal election were held now, the result would be a hung parliament, and either the Coalition or the ALP would require the support of minor parties and independents to form a government, although the Coalition would be favoured. The LNP Coalition had a strong week, winning the Prahran by-election in Victoria, and the results still too close to call in Werribee, in Melbourne's western suburbs. The Victorian Liberal Party achieved a massive two-party preferred swing of almost 14% against the Greens in Prahran to win the seat, and a swing of over 10% against the ALP in Werribee to cut the margin to under 1%. Werribee, of course, is a traditional stronghold for the governing Labor Party, which has held the seat since the 1970s. The big issues in these by-elections were cost of living and worries about crime, two issues that are now Victorian Coalition leader Brad Batten, a former policeman, capitalised on. There are clear similarities to the national campaign, with the same issues ranking highly in importance, and former policeman Peter Dutton as the leader of the federal coalition. Government confidence, whether people think the country's going in the right direction or the wrong direction, dropped 5 points to 73.5, well below the neutral level of 100. And that's because a majority of 56.5% of Australians say the country's going in the wrong direction, while only 30% say the country's heading in the right direction. Consumer confidence, the ANZ Roy Morgan Consumer Confidence was down marginally by 1.8 points to 86.7. Increasing worries about Australia's economy and Australia's economic performance drove that decline. Inflation expectations increased marginally, up 0.1% to 4.7%. So Australians are now expecting annual inflation to be 4.7% over each of the next 2 years. And now, business confidence. And here there was some rare good news for the Albanese government. As you know, Roy Morgan measures business confidence monthly, and throughout January there was positive momentum, up 2.3 points to 108.2. That's the highest rating since April 2022. Roy Morgan interviews around 1,500 businesses each month to gauge their views on their company's prospects, as well as their assessment of the broader Australian economy. And in January, businesses grew more confident about their own prospects over the next year, with 43.7%, up 3.2%, expecting their businesses to be better off financially this time next year. In addition, a clear majority, 58.6% of businesses, expect good times for the economy over the next 12 months, and only 35.8% expect bad times. The increasing likelihood that the Reserve Bank will commence an interest rate cutting cycle is undoubtedly helping boost sentiment among many businesses as they look forward. Over the 2 summer months of December and January, the most confident industries were mining and education and training. Mining recorded a business confidence of 142.3, ahead of education and training on 125.2. So mining and education and training have consistently been the two most confident industries over the last several months since July 2024. Those in agriculture, forestry and fishing have the lowest business confidence of only 84.3, well below electricity, gas, water and waste on 92.2 and transport, postal and warehousing on 94.1. And finally, good news for retailers, as more Australians plan to buy gifts for Valentine's Day coming up this Friday. So this year, the number planning to buy Valentine's Day gifts is 400,000 more than a year ago, with 3.8 million Australians to celebrate by buying gifts for loved ones. This includes 2.3 million men and 1.5 million women. With average spending of $143, that will drive a $535 million boost to retailers. More than half of those buying gifts are 18 to 34. That's 2.1 million of them. And the top gifts for Valentine's Day are mostly the old favourites. 40% planning to buy flowers, food, chocolate and alcohol, 29%. 10% plan to buy an experience like dinner or a trip away, and 9% are planning to buy jewellery for Valentine's Day. Thanks for your interest this week in Roy Morgan's latest results, and I'll be back next week to bring you the most up-to-date readings on consumer confidence, inflation expectations, voting intention, unemployment and mortgage stress. Thanks for listening.